The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Exploring the Unknown with Rebecca Williamson and Shay Carroll. Taking stories from today's news, Rebecca and Shay will explore everything from the paranormal, supernatural, the strange and unusual, unsolved mysteries, and more. Join them as they dive deep into the unknown and mysterious. Taken from news headlines, water cooler chats with a paranormal twist and sarcasm. Be sure to join the Facebook group Exploring the Unknown with Rebecca and Shay for behind the scenes info, articles, and all updates. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hey girl, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Shay?
Good. It's been a while. We haven't recorded.
It has. Our lives have just been absolutely crazy. I mean, it's not just me this time.
No, it's both of us. So many changes. So
yeah.
I saw her on Skype. It's been 2 months. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But what can we do? I mean, our lives are just busy.
Yeah, exactly. Our lives are just busy and like totally crazy, but you know, it is what it is. So,
we keep saying we should make a soap opera, but then we remind each other that if we did, nobody would believe it.
No one would believe the stuff that happens to us. So, you know.
Nope. Not at all. So today we're going to do a follow-up that we were supposed to do 2 months ago to the last episode. Not the best of, but the last one we actually recorded. So it's been 2 months, but we're doing the follow-up.
Yeah, we got to it. We got around to it. It's all good.
Yeah, we said next week, but shit happens and...
you know.
But we're doing it.
We're doing it.
So, just for anybody that's listening, the last one, this is a follow-up to our last one that was on August 7th, and it was called 5 Types of Ghosts, and they explained, or tried to explain what ghosts were.
Tried to.
Yeah. So
yeah. They had kind of like a messed up list that we didn't. It was okay, but it wasn't like... It wasn't the list we would have written.
Exactly. So, you got to go back and listen to that one and get our take on if we agree or don't agree. But figured if we're going to do 5 types of ghosts, we got to do the next one's the top 3 scientific explanations for ghost sightings.
Yeah, I'm more anxious. I think this one will be better, but we'll see. This one's on theconversation.com when it was actually published in October of 2016. But
okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
From ghosts to ghouls, witches to wizards, Halloween is the one time a year when people come together to celebrate everything supernatural. They should do it more often, but you know. Beyond the fancy dress and trick-or-treating, belief in ghosts is actually relatively common, with 38% of people classifying themselves as believers and a similar number having actually reported seeing one. The term ghost refers to the idea that the spirits of the dead, human and animal, influence the physical world, and the idea of a haunting can often include anything from a sensed presence or objects moving to spirit activity. But in a world filled with science and reason, these hauntings can often boil down to a very simple explanation. So with Halloween just around the corner, here are top 3 scientific and physiological explanations for haunting, spirits, spookiness, and all things supernatural.
Dun, dun, dun,
Although
dun.
although it should be noted that many important questions have yet to be resolved. Okay, I'm not sure where this is going, but
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Number 1, because I told you so. Attempts to explain hauntings often draw upon psychological factors such as suggestion. So being told a place is haunted is more likely to lead to ghostly goings-on. One classic study saw participants visiting 5 main areas of a theater before completing a questionnaire to assess their feelings and perceptions. Prior to the tour, one group was told the location was haunted, while the other group was informed the building was under renovation. Unsurprisingly, participants that were told the place was haunted experienced more intense experiences similar to those of paranormal happenings. Verbal suggestion has also been shown to increase paranormal perceptions, as shown in research on seance phenomena, paranormal key bending, and psychic reading, especially when suggestion is consistent with existing paranormal beliefs. But research in real-world settings has produced inconsistent results. A study in the supposedly haunted Hampton Court found that suggestion had no effect on participants' expectations of experiencing unusual phenomena or their tendency to attribute unusual phenomena to ghosts. So, it is fair to say that the effects of suggestion vary depending upon a person's beliefs. And of course, paranormal believers are prone to endorsing alleged paranormal phenomena, while skeptics will deny the existence of the paranormal.
I pretty much agree with that one.
I kind of agree with that one too, because, there is the power of suggestion. You know, you being told it's haunted, and that's one of the things like I've tried to point out to people is Walmart. I really think Walmart is haunted, and people just don't notice it because, the old guy whose job it was to stock the shelves is still stocking the shelves and organizing them. And, people wouldn't notice. They would just assume the shelves were organized. Or if a poltergeist was in there and knocked things off the shelves, would they attribute that to paranormal activity, or would they just say, oh, that last so-and-so that was here?
Yeah. I agree. I cannot do Walmart. I really can't. I
hate Walmart.
To me, it feels like claustrophobia. Is that the word? Everything just, whether it's real people or whatever it is, I just always feel like I'm stuck, and it's just, there's too much people, too much energy,
Right. No, I really think most Walmarts are.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. But Cambry, my grandparents never said it was haunted. Do we have ghost stories from that time? Kinda, but not really, because nobody really thought it was haunted. And it's just I kind of agree with this one.
You have a few. I remember growing up there, the doors or something would open when you were young,
Right, but they always said that was just an old house. That's what happens.
Right, but that's what they said, because in this article, if you don't believe, you're more apt to brush it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, where us as paranormal investigators, most of the time, are looking for it.
Right. And how many times have you been to, where they say, oh my gosh, this is an orb, it's haunted. They're looking for evidence to prove the haunting versus...
And I'm the opposite as an investigator. Going into a place, I like to try to disprove it, see what happens. I go in with an open mind. But...
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, next one.
Okay. Number 2, electromagnetic fields and spooky sounds.
Oh, this is a good one.
Other explanations draw on environmental factors such as electromagnetic fields and infrasound. Canadian neuroscientist Michael Persinger demonstrated that the application of varying electromagnetic magnetic fields to the temporal lobes of the brain could produce haunting experiences, such as the perception of a presence, a feeling of God, or sensations of being touched. And it has been noted that areas most associated with hauntings, such as Hampton Court, do possess erratic magnetic fields. Similarly, infrasound, audio frequency below the range of human hearing, is also thought to be able to explain such phenomena. Several studies have linked infrasound and bizarre sensations. In one example, contemporary pieces of live music were laced with infrasound, and the audience were then asked to describe their reaction to the music. More unusual experiences were reported when infrasound was present: chills down the spine, feeling nervous, waves of fear, and uneasy or sorrowful emotions.
I agree with this one, too.
I agree, too, which is like one of the reasons why I try to do like the K2 or EMF sweep in a location to look for
definitely
high electromagnetic fields. And you notice like the boiler rooms always seem to be the places with the most activity.
I wonder why.
I know, right? Because they're the most likely to have, the high electromagnetic fields.
We talked about this before, but
yeah,
I was at a place once in the they had the old alarm clocks, that was a little older than what my grandfather would use, but like the square ones with and the EMF on that was off the charts. It was crazy amount, and the whole bed, and that's where most of the experiences were happening. And I'm like, well, you can't. EMF
exactly.
Scientifically will cause that.
Exactly.
It will cause you, And the infrasound is also like horror movies use a certain frequency to get more of a scare.
Yep.
So
exactly. So, yep, I agree with that one too.
Yeah. So far, I'm liking this one.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure at the beginning, and now I'm kind of like, yeah.
Yep.
Number 3, toxic hallucinations. Supernatural, quote unquote, perceptions can also arise from reactions to toxic substances, such as carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, and pesticide. It's also been suggested that fungal hallucinations caused by toxic mold could stimulate haunting-related perceptions. Shane Rogers and his team from Clarkson University in the United States observed similarities between paranormal experiences and the hallucinogenic effect of fungal spores. This may explain why ghost sightings often occur in older buildings with inadequate ventilation and poor air quality. The notion is not new, and experts have previously reported a similar association with old books. They claim that mere exposure to toxic molds can trigger significant mental or neurological symptoms, which create perceptions similar to those reported during haunting experiences.
Yeah.
Huh.
First of all, I have to.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I do have to point out that I'm 46 years old, and I didn't know that's how you spelt mold.
Oh. Well, that's kind of like an English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, MOULD is how they've spelt it in this article instead of MOLD. It's kind of like one of those English, things where they spell things just a little bit differently and pronounce things a little differently.
Okay, so I'm off the hook for that one.
Yeah.
I like this one, though, because it is, anything. I can't talk about this one too much, in person, but it does make, in person, Jesus, personally. Personally, because, it does make sense.
Yeah, that one I hadn't heard of that one before, but it makes sense.
Could that be why, old hospitals where they did autopsies and embalming, or even haunted funeral parlors, like this, formaldehyde? Yeah,
I would think so. And then, going down to damp old basements and having experiences too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to think about this one, but this isn't. I like this one.
I have to check it out more.
Yeah, this was a good list. I like this one.
Oh, I did like it. All right, so before we end the show, I got kind of a funny story.
We always have funny stories. What's the funny story, Shay?
Well, first I have to, most people that are in the group know, I had to, my cat, Finny, the blind one that we always see and talk about on here, passed away.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Shay.
I know, thank you. You were great emotional support for me. I have to tell that, not for sympathy, but to make the next part of the story. That's not the funny story. So, a couple days after he passed, my sister was home alone and she was cooking and stuff, and she freaked out. So she's like, the cat almost tripped me, and it was rubbing on my leg, and I almost tripped over it. And she's like, but the cat's no longer here. She's like, and this is a sister that's not a paranormal investigator, but she's like freaking out. And I'm like, probably should have told you that it's probably not the cat, because this has been going on since I've moved in. That whatever it is, it's always, my sink and stove are very close to each other. It's like kitty corner. So there's this little square that you always feel something rubbing up, like a cat or dog would do. And so she was like freaking out though, because
Right, because the cat's gone. And before, if that would have happened, she would have just said, oh, the cat was there, and just ignored it. And now that she can't.
Yeah. So it was just, that part was funny.
Yeah, that is funny. But so is that a high EMF spot in your house?
No.
Really?
I've checked it. Actually, I can do it again, and I can record it and put it up in our group and show that there's no high EMF or.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the paranormal investigator going. How have you investigated that?
It's just been happening, so I'm so used to it. When she moved in, I never thought to mention it to her.
Right.
That, and at first I thought it was a child, because I used to feel something. I thought something was tugging on my shirt, but I think it's an animal. And I always say this place isn't haunted, and I don't consider those experiences to make it a haunting.
Right.
It's not. We have had other stuff happen, but I think we, for a lack of a better word, invited it in.
Brought that one home with you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. We get visitors that just come and go. So personal visitors, we believe.
Right.
So.
Right.
But yeah, that's my funny story.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So, anything else you want to add?
I'm sifting through all the craziness that's been my life for the last 2 months, and I don't know that I want to share all that because it's been too crazy. So,
I'm with you there.
Oh, but anyway, I'm glad we're back and glad we're got something recorded. So, woo.
we missed doing this. So,
put a gold star on our calendar for today.
We get a gold sticker.
I call days that I actually do the things I'm supposed to do as being gold star days.
Yeah, if I complete everything. All right, so no longer if I have to complete everything, instead of getting up at 3 a.m., I've been getting up more at like 1 a.m. Sometimes, a few nights here last week, because I'm trying to get a new show started, I take a nap and get up at 10:30, and then I'm up until 7 o'clock the next night and take a 2-3 hour nap and do it all over again.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's why, just busyness. But anyways, they don't want to listen to us bitch. Well, actually, they love listening to us bitch, but.
Yeah, well, when I show up at the water bill office and pay my bill on time, I'm like, yep, it's a gold star day. I made it before the due date.
Yep. Yeah, don't you love when you pay a bill on time? It's like, woo! I'm
It's a ghost party. I didn't forget this one.
Yeah, I'm rocking this adulting thing today. Tomorrow will be a different story, but
It's a gold star on my calendar for today. So anyway.
all right, guys. Thank you for listening. Yeah, be sure to check out our group. Obviously, it's Exploring the Unknown podcast with Rebecca and Shay, and we got some funny stuff in there. We've been slacking a little bit, but we got
Yeah. We got stuff. We still share things, and some more of our craziness in our actual lives goes in there. So
yes, because we don't talk about it publicly on Facebook, so we do put some stuff in there, so only the group members can read. But,
yeah.
So check it out. Thank you for listening, and we'll definitely be back next week or the week after.
Absolutely. Whoop.